And we're back with the jump off.
Wow. How creative.
How creative, right?
So...
It took me like an hour to come up with that shit. Swear to God. Who's Little Kim?
So we're back in our space to do this freak nasty.
Okay.
Our little show that we started, a little bit ago. It took us a minute to get back, so that we could record this second episode. James has been like pulling teeth to get you, just settled down in a space to be able to concentrate and focus on something such as this.
Okay. So we'll just throw James under the bus. It's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the Awful Awful Podcast. I'm Kai. And you are?
I am here. Like Celia.
Okay. Right.
You may call me James.
So, I don't really think that there's any time to waste. I guess let's just get into what we have on the table here.
What's on the docket? What's on the docket?
So, primarily, okay, this happened a few days ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, me and you are, how do I want to phrase this? Because it's a little risky, you know what I'm saying? Even just expressing any praise or positive thoughts about this girl. Azealia Banks is somebody that I was put on to quite a few years ago. I think I was in high school when I started listening to her music, and I have just been thrilled by her sound and just her creativity and everything. Basically, ever since, everything artistic and musical about her is excellent.
Never disappointed.
You know what I mean?
Musically. Well, except for with Escapades.
Yeah, Escapades.
She could have kept that.
She could have kept Escapades, not even gonna lie. But yeah, she
never before with an artist have, I think, both of us been so content and upset at the same time.
We were gonna go see her.
We were. That was in the plans.
She's supposed to be here next week.
And the tickets are damn near free. So, I mean...
I still don't know if I want to go.
I'm still debating on whether or not, I want to mosey on down to the standing room.
Do I want Azealia Banks in front of me?
That's not the question. That's not the question for me.
I want to hear her perform, and I would actually like to see her perform, but do I want her physically in front of me?
That's a lot of energy. And then my main thing is like, do I want to be in the same room as her fans?
Yes.
Because who's still like going to a Azealia Banks concert? And it's like, maybe I fit the despicable person mold because I am contemplating putting a hold on tickets. Girl, and I don't use that term lightly, but girl, them tickets is selling for a bundle. 4 tickets for $25. Wow. Are you kidding me?
That's I actually...
I had to sell an arm, a leg, and half a pussy to get into SZA concert.
I was about to say, I feel sorry for her. I was like, no, I don't.
I don't. It's what she deserves.
So...
It's what she deserves.
She,
But what did she do this week? Let me know what she did this week.
As she typically does, she gets on the internet to give us her hot take.
Because she doesn't have friends.
On certain issues. And I'm going to follow Azealia Banks on Twitter. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, girl, me neither.
Right. So she got on Twitter and decided to thread about, her opinion about, the rap industry and, black women's, position in the industry and, her disdain for...
Belcalis.
Okay, here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people were trying to paint this as if she wasn't trying to come for Cardi B, but this was in the direct context of Cardi B getting the first, the first solo act female rap.
She broke Lauryn's record, yes.
Yeah, the first female rapper since Lauryn Hill to have a single record with no features with her rapping at the top of the Billboard.
Yeah.
And It's crazy because a lot of people were very, very excited about, you know, Cardi B having the success and, you know, her single climbing as fast as it did, and just her having a lot of success because I think a lot of people enjoy her as a media personality, as well as an artist. Probably more so a personality, but you know,
well, when you've got the personality, people want to see you win, you know?
That's true. Okay,
the personality is half the battle. That's why a lot of people are jumping ship on Nicole.
Key to this conversation. When you have the personality, that is what's going to
it's not just the music,
right? Okay,
you know? And for those of you who don't have the personality, the girls are quiet. They don't say much. You know, girls like, well, can't use her as an example because the music hasn't been good. I was gonna say Tennis Shoe. What's that girl named? Tuna Salad. The 2-on girl. What's her name? Yeah.
I don't listen to her, so I honestly can't tell you much about her story. They said, you know, she's still licking toilet bowls. I'm like,
You know when you do some shit that you think is gonna be artsy and people are gonna be like, oh, you know.
At least people are noticing.
Edgy. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a scream for attention though.
I feel like Azealia Banks has like this, especially when she gets on Twitter and starts these rants, like trying to really analyze and angle her opinion in an intellectual way. I feel like it comes off as entitlement in a way. Yes. I feel like in a way she feels entitled to certain successes because of
her talent.
But there are many talented artists that don't have the ego of Azealia Banks, like that are very humble in their approach to music and understanding that they're talented, but are also not like, oh, that person got #1. That should have been me. That could have been this I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're definitely right. I think it's a matter of who's vocal about it. I think that's the thing. I don't think that that's completely uncommon in the music industry. But can we
agree that it's not cute?
Can we agree that it's not cute to be vocal about it? It's very tacky. It's a very tacky thing, but Azealia Banks has never been a person that's not tacky. She's a tacky bitch. And I've been saying this, if y'all would have been listening to what I've been preaching and teaching and saying from day one, I don't pay this girl no mind. Like I said, like you said, when y'all got into that argument on Twitter, Kylie is very involved.
Wow.
In
remember that one time I tweeted Azealia Banks
and she decided that she wanted to fight you.
And then I tweeted her again, and then she tweeted me back.
And then you said, "Girl," because y'all were trying to get into this. She was trying to get into this
I had to go through
pseudo philosophical conversation, and you were just like, girl, where's Fantasy the Second Wave? That's what we're concerned about. When she says, I've got an album coming, I have a mixtape coming,
please don't search my Twitter. Don't, because if y'all, those of y'all that like to go back,
she deleted the tweets.
I deleted mine.
But there you go. The situation has resolved itself.
Don't go back and search my old tweets because they've been deleted.
It's just
anyway.
It was a lot.
Let's talk about what happened. So Azealia Banks, these are the few tweets that I saw. Like I said, I don't follow her on Twitter, but I read an article where people were screenshotting the tweets and kind of, you know, putting them together in some sort of think piece, whatever the case. I saw that she specifically was saying that Cardi B is the poor man's Nicki Minaj. and that
that is so funny. I'm gonna start calling everybody that.
She
sucks dicks for tracks.
Well, this was afterwards on a IG story rant. Originally, her thread on Twitter was talking about how she, I think, or Nicki, or I really want to say she said Remy, but I can't remember that third artist.
I don't find her doing that. I don't think that's realistic.
Another female rapper, she was like, that #1 should have been one of us. You know, it could have been me, could have been. So she was really like...
Okay, well, it could have been Remy. That's not realistic, but sure.
As a solo track?
As a solo track, absolutely not.
No,
absolutely not.
That shouldn't have been the question.
I wish people were really... Okay, if you know me, you know I have a very complex relationship with Reminisce. And, you know, I don't want her to not win, but I want people to stop acting like she's going to.
She's definitely not going to win.
No. She won Best Female of the Year for BET.
So, and I feel like... That's it. Okay. I feel like this isn't the first time Azealia Banks has shot these critiques at Cardi B, and I also feel like it's not the first time she's shot critiques at any other female artist.
This is what she does.
I feel like, okay, before we even get more into this, I want to mention the fact that I feel like Azealia Banks feels like she has all of these intellectual critiques of the industry regarding colorism and misogynoir and all of these other ideological, beliefs or whatever the case. But I feel like she never is angling these critiques at the industry. She more so initiates the critiques around these other girls that she feels are either competition for her or are taking her spot. She's always like, but Rihanna, this bitch, you know what I'm saying? Oh, but the industry is what allows Rihanna to, you know what I'm saying, do this, but I don't like Rihanna. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's definitely a lot of truth in that statement. And I think that Azealia will take shots at anyone. I think that it's like any situation. I've seen her critique like vaguely very and that's, I think that's the thing. They're very it's like a very 7th grade analysis of politics in the music industry, especially race politics. Like we've discussed, I mean, it's nothing necessarily groundbreaking about her statements. Is kind of like a rehashing of things that we already know to be true.
I need to say that as well, but I feel like more so where she could be making a point in critiquing the industry, she's wasting time critiquing these women.
A girl, yeah.
And it's like, it's very counterproductive to her success and her point in general.
But is that her, or because I feel like Cardi B aside, I feel like that's the case a lot of times. You have people who critique, female rap, and they're not critiquing female rap. They're just critiquing the female rapper.
Right.
So like if you have a female rapper with fake breasts, and pink chicken wing chains or whatever the fuck, it's like, well, are we discussing the problem with the situation?
So,
or what are we talking about?
Speaking of fake breast, so Cardi B yes. Decided, as in the midst of her celebration of her success with her single, she posted a video in response, it's a clapback, if you will, on Twitter of Azealia Banks just living it up in the club, like kicking boots.
At her concert.
She had on gloves in the club.
At her concert to Cardi B's Dat Yellow.
All of the words. This was like, I feel like one of the swiftest clapbacks ever. I feel like somebody on Cardi B's call list hit her with a text like, girl, you see that shit that she said about you?
Cardi B's quick.
Let me link you to this video.
She's a Libra.
Definitely. And in response to that, Azealia Banks then decided to get on her Instagram story and go in on
I thought this happened before. And I thought that,
no.
Okay, so it was the 3-part. So Azealia said something, of course, she instigated
on Twitter,
it.
Right.
Cardi clapped back, which by the way, Belcalis, if you ever get the opportunity to hear this, if that ever happens again, pay the girl no mind. We pays her dust.
She had to this time, though. I feel like this time it was warranted. And then she didn't really break into anything that was...
Was it? Nobody cares. Azealia Banks could say some shit about Beyonce. She's done it before. She's done it several times. So it's just like, it's like, you don't see Beyonce getting on there like, trying to dig up a video of Azealia bopping a fucking Irreplaceable or some shit in 7th grade.
Clearly Beyonce is above this.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm above Azealia Banks. I'm a better artist than Azealia Banks. Like, I can sit up here and say that I have more, I have the public behind me more than Azealia Banks has behind her.
Okay.
You do too.
Fair statement.
The average listener has a better chance.
I just feel like it was,
than Azealia Banks.
Cute and petty, and it was in good taste. I feel like
you would.
Shut up. Anyway, so Azealia Banks took to Instagram story to tell us that she's heard through the grapevine that Cardi B has a purple ass. Wait,
who doesn't?
I'm an adult.
Who doesn't have a purple ass? Realistically,
I hate you so much.
Be honest.
and that she's heard through the hood, because that's where she still is, that she sucks dicks for raps. She doesn't write her raps, that she actually knows the guy that wrote the single.
Okay, nobody writes their own raps, apparently.
Of course. I mean, that was... Here's my thing. When she talked about low-hanging fruit with her critiques of Nicki Minaj and how Nicki Minaj just goes for all these easy jabs and things, that was some fruit on the ground.
On the ground.
You picked that right up.
No, actually, that was some fruit that had been covered by sediment that you had to uncover and lift from the ground. Like, what the fuck?
That was so easy. Like,
everything is easy, though. That's what we're saying.
Okay, so here's the point I want to make about Azealia Banks.
Yes,
because after this critique, she went on to make several valid critiques of the industry. Now, here's my thing. I will say that she does have some intellectual capacities to understand certain things. So why can you not understand the fact that you criticizing whether Cardi B writes her own raps is also perpetual to the critiques of the industry that you're giving?
She has a fucked up
You're feeding right into that. So it's like, if you understand how black men and men in general are in charge of the rap industry and how they selectively choose which
but critique that. Critique that.
And I feel like she did have somewhat of a wholesome... she had a partial critique that was valid, you know what I'm saying, of the industry and men.
Critique the men in the industry.
The exoticism, the colorism around which men co-sign and promote certain women.
That's why Pretty Brown isn't on the Billboard charts.
That's valid, but within that, how are you sitting here trying to critique Cardi B for not writing her own raps as if that is even a valid critique, first of all, because...
And nobody writes their own raps. Exactly. That's the first thing everybody says.
Right, so it's just
And by the way, female rappers, if you're a female rapper, up and coming, whatever the fuck, that shit is washed. I don't want to hear nobody else talk about who don't write they shit. Because none of y'all write y'all shit, apparently.
It's tired.
Every time y'all beef, you don't write your own raps. Girl, they was doing that shit on that little show with the kids. Wasn't they? They was doing that shit with the Jermaine Dupri kids. They was fighting across the house like, bitch, you don't write your shit. Your dad is up there writing your shit for you. Bitch could be there by herself. Casper the Ghost is writing rhymes for you. Bitch, I saw it. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, every time y'all beef, you don't write your own shit.
It's lame.
It's tired. That's lame. Like telling somebody they don't paint their own shit. It's like painters getting into beef talking about you don't even paint your own shit.
Right.
It's like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? The shit got their name on it.
Right. It's definitely successful.
Right.
So... here's my thing in my critiques of Azealia Banks and this beef in general, okay? So I feel like a lot of folks seem to be able to do all of these mental gymnastics and trying to understand Azalea's intellectual points and like giving merit to her idea in a certain way. And I personally feel as if, though, I used to be on that wave a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, when she was saying all of that shit about Zayn Malik, is it Malik? Zayn Malik?
I don't know.
She was calling him, saying niggers and, was
curry
saying...
scented bitch. I remember that.
All of that is rude, okay?
It is.
But I was never on the wave of, Azealia Banks is a racist, because I don't believe that black people can be racist, and I don't believe that black women can be... They don't hold the structural power to really have an effect on non-black people of color. So I was never on the Azalea's racist train. I thought that it was rude. I thought that it was problematic. I didn't think that it was, beneficial for her in the long run. I just felt like she should have kept that. But, I have been at a point to where I was trying to understand Azealia and her... the controversy surrounding her is something more than just... Like,
what are the pathologies behind this behavior?
Right. Trying to understand, okay, she's a black woman. Like you said, we tweeted back and forth, about some things. And I somewhat tried to understand her perspective as far as she feels like white gay men hold much more privilege over her in ways that makes it okay for her to call them the F word. See her perspective as in... her being a black woman, knowing that she's black, knowing that she's a woman, knowing that she's queer, and understanding all of the intersectional oppression that she faces with those identities, and kind of juxtaposing that to what white men face, and saying that it's not at all the same. She doesn't hold structural power necessarily to oppress white gay men. That's valid. I was there at some point, but now... There are so many people out here, so many mouthpieces of different activist movements and of, different ideological brands and things that have really, really wholesome analysis of these different structures of oppression. And it's so much easier to get that type of intellectual information or just listen to people that have like wholesome opinions about this type of stuff. I don't feel like having to step around Azealia Banks's problematic behaviors to try to understand in intellectual points that she may has, because one, she didn't create those ideas. There are other people talking about those ideas in a more, you know, correct way. And
I mean, I think her point of view is valid because it's hers. And like you said, there are other people talking about it. They're not talking about it in the way that Azealia Banks is talking about it. And it's just like,
they could talk about it without trying to slut shame another woman.
But that's Azealia. You know what I'm saying? It's like at this point, that's what I've kind of been trying to impart to people, where it's just like, I feel like, and I feel like this is crazy that I still feel this way. I feel like Azealia is still at a point where she can kind of redeem herself. It's going to take a very long time. But I mean, it's like, we've always given her chance. We've given her opportunity and air to rectify her mistakes, and she's done it, and then she'll go back into it. Like she'll say, I'm never going to use that word again. You know, I understand that it's very offensive, and I don't want to offend anyone. And then she'll go right back into doing it. Just like this Nicki Minaj situation, you know, she apologized to Nicki with a novel, you know, and Nicki Minaj said, "You're talented, you're smart."
Does the Nicki Minaj for real know who Azealia Banks is?
Focus on that. Apparently, she was probably just like, "Girl, who is this fan that said she's done some offensive shit?"
Aw, she a bum.
Aw, she a bum. Let me go through this part. Hold on. Girl, I hated that game. They was trying to pretend like Nicki Minaj go through purses. We know that's Reminisce. We know Reminisce go through bags after she shoot people in the stomach.
Oh my goodness. Listen, okay, so...
But I think Azealia is still capable of rectifying her mistakes. You know?
I don't think that she should do that in any social or political type of way. Just keep it to the music.
I think she needs, if you're gonna have these harsh critiques of the music industry and this, that, and the third, I think you need to start involving yourself in some real live community-based activism. And I think that's where you need to start. Don't put it on social media. Let other people see what you're doing. See, it's like, you know, she could give me a call. Azealia, you know where to reach me. We've spoken in the past. I have tried to encourage you. You shut me out, you know, because I don't think she's emotionally...
I've spoken to her in a passive way, too. I mean, I don't know Azealia Banks, but
I do.
I have personally,
I know Azealia.
Even if it's on a public forum, I approached her in a very non-threatening way and said, "Hey, let's try to unpack some of these ideas, you know, in a healthy exchange." No, there's really no getting through. She wasn't really open-minded. So I feel like in this respect, I'll say this: Azealia Banks, I don't need to get any or receive any type of intellectualism from her at this point. There are other like mouthpieces, like I said, that are spewing this same shit in less problematic ways.
I'll go to Nicki first.
Sure. Even though she was on Twitter saying some wild shit yesterday too. But
what did she say?
Nicki was talking about how some like fashion magazines would like cause her or make her change her hair or something in a way that was... She didn't really go into too much detail.
Make her change her hair?
For like their cover or something. Like to make it... She was implying that fashion mags wanted her hair to look less black somehow. And I don't know in any way. You know, somebody the other day implied to me that they seen Nicki Minaj without makeup. And I was like, I've never seen Nicki Minaj without makeup. But
I've seen... You have to catch it. It's not... It's like it happens and then it don't happen no more. You have to really catch it. But she's pretty without,
anyway,
you know,
she was saying
all of that.
Trying to point out some alleged racism in the fashion industry or whatever.
Nicki's always trying to do some shit like that. And Nicki's another one who every time some shit happens to her, it's a racist moment.
But here's what her fans said. Did you see what the fan said? When the fan was like, Nicki really be trying to go up for black women and they be the first one to like try to criticize her, try to bring her down or something. And she tweeted it.
When does that happen?
I have no clue. And
I'm not saying Nicki doesn't go up for black women, but I mean, it's like when
she decided to be cute though and respond to that and say, "Oh well, they gonna be mad though if I mention that or if I bring that up or some shit."
Every time somebody, that's just like somebody gave her a compliment. Who was it? It was somebody that was like who was it? It was some singer or something, one of those like indie artists, and they were like, "I just love Nicki Minaj and I love her work ethic." And she's just like, "Oh, you can't like Nicki Minaj's work ethic." She didn't even say thank you. She's just like, "You can't do that. Don't let them find that out because they'll blackball you." It's like, girl, shut the fuck up. Just say thanks. Good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, here we go. Every time somebody says something positive about Nicki, here we go with this novel about how people don't like her. It's like, okay. People don't like you for a reason.
There are very many reasons to not like Nicki
Minaj. First of all, I don't think that she should sit back and just be like, you know, I haven't accomplished shit. I hate that. I hate that people feel like she can't be vocal about the things that she's accomplished.
Yeah.
But I also feel like you need to be doing things, you know, like you don't just release one song and it go like number 11. You'd be like, another win, swish, swish, you know what I'm saying? Like, another one in the basket, leave a bitch in a casket, a tisket, a tasket. Okay. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Listen.
This bitch could wake up in the morning and be like, bitch, I just keep winning. Like, y'all can't. As soon as she wake up, she be like,
I mean, there's something about her being so obnoxious that I feel like
I love it.
Is cute. I like it.
It's so endearing. It's like, because if Remy did that shit, I would just block her.
Because she wants y'all to hate on her, and it's fine. But anyway,
and they do. It's like people hate it. I love people who are arrogant. I really do. I love, you know, people.
It can be fun.
It's just interesting.
If it's comical, if it's not too serious. I don't think Nicki Minaj takes herself too serious at all. You know what I'm saying?
I don't either. But I mean, it's like that's kind of the thing. It's like when you're putting in the work though, and that's one thing I will say about Nicki. You know, you can say whatever you want and say she's a sellout, she's not hip hop, whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody's critique always is she's got, you know, jelly in her ass, whatever the fuck y'all want to talk about. Whatever this shit doesn't matter. I feel like she is a businesswoman. Okay.
I get tired of people saying Nicki Minaj got cement shots. Okay, go ahead.
No, that's got to be jelly because jam don't shake.
I hate you so much. Anyway, I feel like
she's a businesswoman.
But in the same regard, Cardi
give her respect.
Doesn't take herself too seriously.
She doesn't, and that's why I love Cardi. That's why everybody loves Cardi.
That's why I feel like this single has gone so viral and just has gained its success. And I'll in my commentary on this note, I feel like you girls were trying to act like Azealia Banks approached this conversation with a valid critique of the industry when it was really the fact that she felt entitled to Cardi's success and she felt that she could frame that in some type of intellectualism when it was really, you were mad that this girl had this success. You were upset because you felt like that was something that belonged to you.
Exactly.
And instead of making these critiques of an industry that is so pervasive even outside of female rap and outside of hip-hop, like she really tried to frame this as if though her and Cardi are in some exclusive lane and it's us, you know what I'm saying, it's me or her, when it's really like this colorist exoticism, you know what I'm saying, issue is something that permeates hip-hop, pop culture, media. Look at the fucking Kardashians over here trying to look exotic. They upgraded to white women a few years ago and they just feel like there's nothing that can stop them.
Right.
And honestly, I can't argue with them.
Right. It don't look like
it doesn't look like
it don't look like it's stopping now. It don't look like it's slowing down.
So I feel like what we're not gonna do is act like the conversations about colorism are being ignored, or that the conversations about exoticism and misogynoir in the rap industry is something that people are not talking about and that we're trying to negate. No, we're saying Azealia Banks was hating as she typically does.
Well, I mean, and it's like I can understand the pathology when you work and you've been doing this for years and you put out a work which is arguably an incredibly prolific album, you know, for your category, for your peers. You know, it's a very prolific album, arguably. So, I mean, it's like, I understand that, and then you see hot, low, you know, red-blooded Latina come up from nowhere, and you're like, how the fuck did this bitch get a number one? First of all, how did this bitch get signed to a label in 5 minutes and I don't have shit?
I mean, but I feel like Azealia Banks feels like she knows how. She feels like she knows why Cardi is successful. She feels like it's because she's light-skinned and got ass shots.
Like Cardi B knows, I mean, I feel like Azealia thinks she knows everything. I think Azealia thinks that it's really smart for her to put out her own music. You know, and let me tell you something. No, let me tell you girls something. Let me tell you something. Y'all always want to talk about, I own my own masters, bitch, independent. Okay? Talking about who finger fucked the money, you know, this, that, and the third. And it's like, y'all have your masters, but you don't have master over anything of quality. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Azealia has these, you know, it's like, oh, well, I released this. And it's like, well, girl, you have Escapades on your label. That is not a good song. It's Remy Ma has every song of Remy Ma's that is not Lean Back, Conceited, or whatever. Or that song which she did with Keisha Cole. Or All the Way Up. Those are the 5 that I'm giving her. That's it. That's it. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Y'all talk about, y'all are annoying because y'all wasn't Remy fans until she came out with the Sheether shit. Y'all wasn't listening to her. You wasn't pushing her albums. You wasn't congratulating the bitch when she got back from prison and her piss was coming back clean. You know? Y'all wasn't doing nothing. Y'all wasn't helping Remy out. And now you see her up there, she putting on makeup. You know, she putting on little dresses and shit. And y'all like, oh, she ended Nicki. And it's just like, let's not do all of this. Let's not do all of this. Support female rap. I don't have to pick one. You know, I support females that are coming up. I support females that work. And that's my problem with Azealia. You're entitled and you're lazy. Those two things don't go together. Put an album out. Put a mixtape out. How the fuck is Cupcake putting out a mixtape every 2 weeks?
She's coming up and I hate her.
Okay. Exit is a good song. I listened to that shit. I said, excuse me? I said, where is Cupcake getting this production from? Cash Doll got songs. Cash Doll has songs. Okay? Keisha.
Happening with Cash Doll.
Well, she's embroiled in a legal battle, and when that's over, she's coming. I'm just letting everybody know, if you're listening to this, get on Cash Doll tip now. Get on Cash Doll tip now so you can say you was a fan from day one. Okay? You can say you joshed her when she was...
that's what they want to say.
That's what I say every time somebody come out. Because Cardi B, I surely did. I've been following that bitch since she had 3,000 followers, with making real funny little racist videos. We're not gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about them. I recall.
So nobody is saying that Cardi B is on some type of moral high ground.
But she's got a platform now, so now is the time to be responsible. With what
is she gonna do that? I can't say. But you know,
now is a very critical time in her career, because this is where Iggy Azalea started to slope off, and now where's she at?
Definitely, her album is gonna be very, like, her success is gonna be very dependent on the album.
Yeah, definitely. But here's my thing: if you go back and listen to Cardi's discography, like actually listen to it, the Gangsta Bitch Music Volume 1 and Gangsta Bitch Music Volume 2.
Don't know her. I
don't think you'll be disappointed. Miss Cardi has come with skits. Funny as hell. I listened to the album, and I can listen to the second mixtape all the way through and get a good laugh. Like the one where she had a little Jamaican man knock on her door, and she said, "Why you knocking on my door? You know that my uncle is on the run. I thought you was the police." I'm like, bitch, this girl is a clown.
She's great. I love her personality.
Ready. She's a Libra. Why you don't love Libras? Who doesn't love a Libra? I love a good Libra. And I love a good Libra when their scales get tipped, they be mad as shit. And they tell everybody to get in the car, get a baseball bat.
A lot right now. That's really all I had to say on the Azealia Banks Cardi B situation. I think, are we taking a break?
Same.
Yeah, let's take a break real quick. We'll be right back.
Smoke break.
6 in the morning, nigga at my door. I'm trying to figure out what he out there for. Last time I seen him, he was talking shit. Found out his new girl can't suck no dick. Hit the intercom, I ain't let him in. Pussy nigga lucky I ain't fuck his friends. Probably thought a bitch would be down and out, till he see me riding round in that chromed out Benz. South Beach nigga, you ain't bout that life. You cross that bridge, they taking all that ice. You don't want no problems with them boys from the bottom. Strip your ass butt naked and hit the turnpike. You's a fuck boy. My bitch been said it. That's why I should've let your best friend get it. We went on trips, you bought Chanel, but money ain't shit when you soft as hell, cause you's a fuck boy. My mama even said it. Got a new nigga, I ain't even gotta sweat it. You still gon' talk, and that's a goddamn shame. But a hoe gon' be a hoe, and the lame gon' be a lame. Fuck boy. You never heard me asking niggas for shit.
So I have ashed my cigarettes. I'm back. Like Smokey the Bear.
You're the worst.
No, but on a serious note, I blame every single one of you cigarette smoking bitches for this weather. Fuck y'all. It's not good for the environment. And you know what? I want to know. I really want to know. It bothers me to see a bitch with a cigarette in a car with her arm out the window with the cigarette out the window. Bitch, you don't even want to smell that shit. What make you think we want to smell that shit? Be caught up in the smoke.
I hate secondhand smoke. I'm gonna be honest. No, there's something about secondhand smoke that's different than actually smoking a cigarette. Have you ever had a cigarette?
I have. I had a lot of white friends in high school.
I don't smoke cigarettes, but
neither do I.
Definitely had a cigarette and been like, this is a lot different than sitting next to somebody that's smoking a cigarette. Like, it just smells real stale.
Don't nobody want to be sucking on that dry, salty ass air, okay? No.
Speaking of dry and salty,
good. Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart.
Okay, so fill me in what happened with the Kevin Hart situation, because I'm not very familiar.
Kevin Hart, if you don't know who he is he's a little person who's famous for telling mediocre jokes. And I'm not using little person in a term of like little people. He's just a person that's little.
I feel like it's better than saying midget. Nobody has ever clarified for me if midget is a slur or not.
It definitely is.
I feel like I'll take a little person's word for it. Yeah. And not yours. Okay. Thanks. All little people.
Well, compared to me, you are a little person.
Bitch, do you want to finish giving us the expose? Okay.
See, I'm sorry. I forget. See, this is another thing. He's short, so maybe it's some sort of paradigm that short men have, or, whatever, some sort of pathology that they cheat.
I wouldn't know. We'll have to ask him.
Yes, definitely.
So what happened? What happened at the New Orleans?
Okay. So Kevin Hart he's a 5'2" comic, and he tells, like I said, mediocre jokes. I don't think he's funny, and after the antics that he's been pulling with a side piece, let me give you a little bit of backstory. Kevin Hart got married once, the first time.
I remember that.
And he was selling shoes at some point. I don't know whose shoes, probably children's shoes. He was selling shoes, and his wife still stuck by him, and she believed in him. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Did she?
She did. Okay. She did. And she was with him when he propelled to superstardom. This what happened. Kanye West said this shit. Okay? He got on and he left her ass for a little light-skinned girl named Aniko. Okay? And he was fucking Miss Aniko.
Because I remember they got a divorce.
While he was married to Miss Tory. And ladies, how you get them, how you lose them. Just wanted to throw that out there. Grandma said it and it still rings true.
Wow.
So Miss Aniko, she is 12 months pregnant, walking around big belly and barefooted currently.
So he put a baby in her.
And then ran off and cheated on her with a big-nosed, bird-beaked, brown olive skin, short hair, looks like a nursing school student who eats cigarettes,
Listen, so I think I've seen the photos of who his alleged mistress is. Now, y'all were trying to give her a lot. Like, I ain't even
She just light-skinned. That's all. That's all. Y'all, every time y'all see a light-skinned girl, you go, oh, she bad.
She was like, no. Okay, give the people some credit. She was also beside a pool. So that
helps.
That it helps her.
Anytime someone's beside a pool, it makes it look like they have money, and that makes it look like they're attractive
and like they have ass. But
it's true. That's one of my tricks.
Okay, so I guess
only I just use a bathtub.
How do you feel about this? I
feel like first of all, I have a problem with short men. Period. So I feel like if that's something that you're willing to entertain, then go for it.
Can you imagine, like, first of all, imagine being in a relationship with Kevin Hart. I wonder, does he... it's hard for me to tell whether he turns on that comedy shit for, like, stage, because he kind of has, like, a specific, low number that he gives. Yeah. And I'm like, I wonder, is he like that around the house? Or that would be a little... I can't imagine that. No. And then secondly, imagine being cheated on by Kevin Hart.
And see, that, I think, first of all, that's disrespectful to Aniko, because it's like, you made all of these statements about how you changed, how you are a different person, how she introduced you to a new side of yourself, and, you just love her so much, and that's your rib, and all the shit niggas say, when they fall in love with somebody they about to cheat on. And it's just like, you've embarrassed her. She loved you with all of your baggage, with all of the gravity that has been killing your ass since you were born.
Let's also factor in the fact that Kevin Hart is one of them short niggas with the hammer. You know what I mean? So
what does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Wait, like, Well, from what I've heard, short niggas do have the sauce in that department.
I mean, he's one of them.
Ask Peter Dinklage about that. Don't ask me. I don't know nothing about that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He could be out here slinging that shit to, whoever.
My thing is, first of all, I don't know who's after Kevin Hart's Lucky Charms. I have no idea. But you should be ashamed. You brought dishonor upon yourself and your family. Like, honestly, first of all, he's married. Second of all, he's Kevin Hart. And it's like, I'm not going to shame that girl. I think it takes two to tango. He's disgusting for doing what he did to his wife. She's pregnant. She's beautiful. He shouldn't have did this shit to his first wife, who was beautiful and supportive, was literally there when you didn't have shit. Let me tell you something. Aniko's fine ass is with you for a reason. And 50% of it I'm willing to bet is because you have some coins.
I mean...
Because short,
coins
maybe.
and a hammer. That's all you need.
Coin, that helps a lot, That helps a lot, And then you have the audacity to have a baby by this man. Not even have a baby that has developed.
Did you see the video with him and his kids? Oh, he was videotaping them afterwards. Everybody in the car, everybody looked like they were just entirely
through
over him.
Yeah,
like his kids looked like they were. Listen, nigga, look. Can you take me?
It's very difficult, and I feel bad for the kids too. I forget that he has kids because it's like it's very difficult. I think men kind of have this understand. It's difficult for kids who have a mom, what I'm saying, that they've bonded with, and they've seen you be disloyal, and they've seen you break your vows.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And to still be around you, it's a very heavy energy to be around in that sort of space. It's like, because you don't have respect for this person anymore. It's difficult. Yeah. And it's very difficult to not have respect for your father. You know what I'm saying? It's not difficult, but it hurts, to be in a situation where you love your dad or whatever, and he's around. The nigga has audacity to still be in the same house as you. You can't leave because you live with him and Aniko. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, bitch, where the fuck I'm supposed to go?
Imagine living with Aniko. Everybody in this situation looks silly.
Every time I see her, I would call her a new name. I would just say, it's like, what's up, a nigga? She'd be like, it's Aniko. I'd be like, it's irrelevant. Whatever.
I also wanted to talk about... Okay, so just for a little slight political segment, I don't know what the fuck you want. I mean, this shit gets tiring talking about, but I feel like the output for me is absolutely necessary because I get tired of receiving so much of like the ignorant takes on what's happening within our media and within our government and shit, and it's just like everybody is so. Look, so we all know Colin Kaepernick has been out of work for quite some time, due to his protest of state-sanctioned violence against, black people. And
God bless him for it.
The entire NFL has basically blackballed him, which I thought was really dramatic. Like, I didn't really think that was something... Because he's a popular player. I mean, I don't, follow the sports. But... I've heard that he's not the best player, but also not the worst player. So I'm just like, I don't know. I thought the NFL would value the money that he could probably bring back to any team.
Well, that's kind of been their history with black players. I mean, they valued the money.
But they couldn't do that press with him kneeling during the national anthem at the games. So they completely booted his ass. They said, girl, you need to go find somewhere else to clock in because here is not... You're terminated.
It's not going to cut. You're terminated.
Screaming. Donald Trump decided to
take his fidgety face ass on the TV with that floppy disk ass wig that he be wearing. Talking about...
It's very wild that...
Talking about son of a bitch.
The photos that people, like... put out of him are not doctored in any way.
It really is. It's like, wow, this nigga's ugly as shit.
He's pretty severe.
Like, he's so fucking ugly. Like, I don't even understand how it's humanly possible for a person. And I think that, listen.
That's how you end up with a motherfucking Melania.
I'm screaming. I think that shit comes from the inside. I think ugliness is a bile that starts out inside of you, and it starts to corrupt the outside.
Notice how so much of the content that we've been discussing this episode is surrounding Geminis, but I'll let you continue.
I also share a birthday with Mike Pence, but that's neither here nor there.
What the fuck is going on?
Listen, that date under the Gemini sign, I thought we were turning our phone down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, very unprofessional. I'm just kidding. We're literally in a closet right now.
You were in a closet. That's fine.
Anyway, so yeah, that date is just a wild time for
Donald Trump. I don't even know at what fucking event he was speaking at, but
start that over because I'm gonna cut that out.
Donald Trump, I don't know exactly what event he was speaking at, but I did see some video where he was referring to the players, mainly the player Colin Kaepernick, as sons of bitches, which I feel like is just... Donald Trump is such a fucking disaster of an alleged political leader. Like,
a total dumpster fire.
You don't even possess the political language to talk about things politically without sounding like some fucking...
He's not a political
backwoods ass. Like,
he didn't get elected because he's political.
Like, he literally cannot even talk about
Absolutely
things without
not.
sounding like a jackass, without sounding like, how did you get this job?
But this is what happens when you put people who are not qualified for the position.
See, when you do
in the
clownery,
position, the clown comes back to bite.
It sure does.
And that's why these situations happen, and y'all get all up in arms, and I'm just like, that is a bare necessity. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That is what the fuck he's gonna do. He's gonna get up there and he's gonna do clownery because he's a whole ass Pennywise.
So here's my thing with everyone's take on it. So people,
and when you do coonery, the coon comes back to bite.
People,
Black people,
mainly white people, have been reframing this act of protest as something that is anti-Trump, when essentially that's entailed
Trump falls
within
under
it,
that umbrella.
but it's not about Trump.
No,
it's never been about Trump, and I feel like the fact that people are framing it that way and that it's becoming a more popular and somewhat viral sense of protest is like, it's almost disingenuous, because it's like you have all of these players that, you know, are now kneeling in things, and, you know, it's really becoming this big media stunt.
It's becoming a stunt. Exactly. That's
Colin has been doing this since how many years?
And where were the people who are kneeling now when he was doing
it?
It's
like, y'all want to kneel now.
You know, let's talk about when the WNBA was doing it. You know what I'm saying? And people weren't supporting them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, let's talk about these things. You know what I'm saying? These are not new. This is not new. And I think that's the thing that's important to note. When these situations start getting hype, you know, and they start getting... it's difficult for me because I feel like I want to be involved in, you know, I've talked to you about this because it's like, I feel like I want to be involved in the politics and not be left out of the conversation. But at the same time, I don't know how to contribute in a way that doesn't fall under the lines of trend. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's reductive. I don't think that's doing anything for the progression of the situation. It's like, let's take what's going on and elevate it to a level where we're doing something. And I think that a lot of people, like you said on Twitter the other day, a lot of you just get on here and start to squawk. You know, you're not tweeting,
but
squawk,
cluck. Oh my goodness, y'all just squawking.
Tomato. You know, but birds get on there, they put their little feet on the keyboard, and they just cluck for an hour, and it's not doing. It has no, and I think it's not even that. I believe in social justice on the internet. I believe in that. I believe that it is
on the
important. I believe that it's important. I believe in internet-based activism because I think it's very efficient.
Right.
But when we're just rehashing the same shit that you read in another thread from somewhere else, and you're rewording it in your own words, that's not really doing anything progressive. That's very stagnant. And that's the energy I get from these conversations. People aren't saying, okay, let's do this. Let's take what everyone's been saying and rehashing. And I don't, you know, I'm not, first of all, I'm not Martin Luther King. I'm not Malcolm X. I'm none of those people. I'm not Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get me a nice little latte and go to my room. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can organize the shit and I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be at the forefront of anything. Mm-hmm. You know, and I know that's common misconception about black men, but I don't need to be at the forefront of shit. Mm-hmm. You know? But I feel like the conversation is like we have to elevate it at some point. Because y'all are, to me, it just hits me like everyone's just doing.
I definitely agree with what you're saying. I think because the conversation is becoming more trendy, that more people are having a denser analysis of what the fuck is actually happening. Like I said, people are definitely reframing this as some type of protest against Trump when everything is not about Trump, although that's what he would like it to be. Yeah. My second thing is I don't understand why this motherfucker is over here trying to call out all of these alleged bitches in the NFL that are protesting state sanctioned violence when North Korea is ready to come over here and put a fucking M80 in everybody's booty hole. And like, nigga, you have real shit to be worried about because you're provoking like a foreign nation that may actually have the power to come over here and fuck some shit up, like they've been demonstrating for some time now. And it's just like, again, how the fuck did you get this job?
Who is in the war council? Like, and I'm just thinking like this shit is, it doesn't even make sense. It's like you're playing with this nigga, any nigga with a bowl cut, I don't fuck with. Okay? Because I know everything ain't together. I know it's some real shit going on at that house for you to have a bowl cut, nigga. Like, I know that you going through some shit.
Kim Jong-un is about to come over here.
You can have it.
And just light a giant row of firecrackers on the United States.
But listen, here's what I'm saying.
Like that bitch from East to West Coast.
I'm saying if Kim Jong-un, if you're listening to this, hey girl, if you're listening to this, that's not us. That's not us. Stay away from cities such as Detroit, Baltimore, what's another one? St. Louis. Stay away from St. Louis. Stay away from Compton.
Where black people is.
We not involved in that shit. We not with the shits. None of us was on the Trump tip.
Don't come for Chicago because, you know, that's where all the black people live in the inner city, okay? Every single black person in America lives in the inner city of Chicago, okay?
Okay, I'm just saying, stay away from the inner cities. Listen, what you want to do with the White House.
And we all just shooting each other.
What you want to do
like to do is fun.
Yeah, you know, because we hate being black. And
we just be in Chicago shooting each other like, you know. That's what we do as black people.
You need to drop some baloney on the White House. Focus there. If you're gonna, I'm not condoning violence against the president. I'm just saying if that's already in the plans,
make sure that you direct your energy appropriately.
Okay? Because we fuck with North Korea. We don't have no problem. I listen to all of that. I think the smocks are lovely this season.
Shut up.
The olive gray smocks that everybody be having on over there. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's great.
I swear North Korea must look like the Handmaid's Tale.
Okay, really, but in like neutral tones, no reds because you get your hair cut off that shit.
They look like the Handmaid's Tale. Really, just like.
I bet everything is just gray. Mm-hmm. The water is even gray and murky over around that bitch. But listen, that's what y'all do. But if that's what y'all want to do, I'm just saying, you know, just be concentrated. Them niggas is in Washington, D.C. Get a pad of paper and a pen if you need. I'm going to repeat that for anyone who may be listening. I don't condone it. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it is Washington, D.C. I do not know the zip code. That is something you could Google if you have Google in your country.
Shut up.
And listen. I'm just saying.
On a lighter note, Serena Williams had her baby.
I'm going to wait a year to talk about this situation.
She is... Serena Williams is great. She just turned 36. Like... What can you say? I don't even really want to get into anything about Serena Williams. I just want to say that she's fucking fantastic. And
Serena Williams is amazing.
Out here that are like hating on her and, you know, still trying to be upset because you wish that you were in the shape that Serena Williams is in. You wish that you could win. What is it, a U.S. Open that she won while she was pregnant?
Yeah.
Yes, you wish that you could. And you could never, honestly.
No. So, Maria Sharapova's still mad about that shit. She's been mad since she was 17.
She is seething. Like, I swear, her hair is, like, falling out strand by strand. Like, every time.
Next time she come out, it's going to be a lace front. And y'all that shit going to be lifted. Like, she going to be mad.
Her fucking hairline is just, like, receding expeditiously.
That bitch look like a light bulb with a ponytail on it.
Like, I swear what is her baby? Alexis Olympia
Ohanian Jr. I love it.
When she read that name, I'm sure the last remaining strand just like
Maria was
just decided to drop. Like
Maria was like, let me go find somebody.
They were like, you know, I can't take it.
I can't. And Serena got her a nice wealthy man. Okay, a nice wealthy man that you can name your daughter
One
after.
that I can tell loves her, honestly, and I'm not even
He does
for like interracial relationships
that
like that, because interracial relationships are really not any symbol of progression. You know what I mean? In my mine, I don't think that it's anything exemplary, but
it's not that big of a deal.
I do think that he genuinely loves her. Did you see the video? The little montage of
he's obsessed with her.
Yeah,
and it's so beautiful.
Even when she was looking a little, you know what I'm saying?
Like, which was several times in the video. I'm like, ooh, girl, you let him. I'm like, Serena, Beyonce.
I'm so glad she's not a vain girl. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's very down to earth. You know what I mean? So, anyway,
I love to hear her talk. And like I said, I like to hear people talk their shit when they work and they are the best. They're leading. You know what I'm saying? I love to hear them talk that shit. I love when she did that interview. Yeah. And he said, oh my God, what's your guilty pleasure? Shoes, cars.
Is she a Libra or Virgo? She's a Libra.
I want to say she's a Virgo.
She seems like a Virgo, but I feel like her birthday was not too long ago. I can't really remember.
I think she's a Virgo.
But, yeah.
No. She just gave birth to a Virgo. The baby.
Her birthday just passed too. She just turned 36 either.
Maybe she's a Libra. Hold it. Let me discover.
I just want to say congratulations to Serena Williams and both of the Alexis's. Y'all seem like y'all are gonna be so well off. Like
properties.
Honestly,
properties.
Huh?
Properties. They have properties.
Oh,
okay. That's what I was getting at before you.
Because Herman got money, right?
Huh? He got mad money.
Like
he got
CEO
white money.
Like Reddit
he got redneck money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he got Beyonce money.
I wanted to transition into
a woman.
We're still like refining this segment. We should probably come up with a name for it.
For music?
I mean, just for like music.
We're gonna talk about music.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about music, but we're gonna add a little bit of spice to it eventually. Make it something a little bit more saucy.
Wow.
So Beyonce dropped her Mi Gente remix.
She did.
And what do you think about that?
Girl. Well, when I first saw it, because, I was mad as fuck, because I stayed up last night, which is when it dropped. Well, this morning, technically. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of J Balvin. Have been for a while.
There are a few of his songs that I like.
So when I saw that, I was just like, okay, well, I didn't really feature this song that much. So I was just sort of like,
I mean, the song isn't incredible, but I can bop to it, and
No, I meant like the original song. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, with the original song, I was just like, oh, okay, because I heard it a while ago. I want to say, and I just listened to it one time, and I was just like, okay. But when this dropped, I Googled it, like on my Apple Music, I looked it up. And the first one wasn't Beyonce, and I was mad as shit because I had to actually do some digging to find it.
I just found it from her Instagram because she had it on her IG Live story.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't. So I just, I listened to the song all the way through, and the first verse was in Spanish, and it was beautiful. I don't know I doubt she wrote it. I don't know who wrote it, but I mean, it's just like, it's good. The lyrics all the way throughout the song, every time she sings, I'm just like, okay, I'm vibing with what she's saying.
Yeah, she's saying a lot that
I'm just like talking your shit. And I appreciate that the proceeds of this song she teamed up with,
She said she gave birth to the haters because she fertile. Y'all could never fuck with me.
Well, I thought she said I gave birth on these haters because I'm fertile.
Either way.
Yeah, it's not the same.
She's like...
She's basically saying, like, listen, I had twins naturally. You could never.
Either way, I feel like what this song
after you eat Taco Bell
like represents as far as her, doing natural disaster relief and like just being like this philanthropic, just Beyonce. She's just, I don't know. She's doing more work than our current president, to try to create some type of relief. Rihanna's doing an amazing job. Like, all of these black women are doing.
God. Serena's middle name is Jamaica. I love that. She's from Sag Nasty.
She's from Saginaw?
Mm-hmm. Miss Girl's from Saginaw. I'm just trying to see her birthday. Oh, September 26th. That's Libra.
She's Libra. Yeah. But I just want to really talk about the song because I thought that it was cute, and I thought that
Mi Gente is cute.
I'm glad that she is trying to bring awareness. You know what I'm saying? When Beyonce, she got 2 fresh twins. She really could be totally consumed with all of that right now, and I feel like she's still giving a lot.
Well, I appreciate
saying to the public in spite of y'all.
I've seen
critique.
critique.
She bought them, baby.
I've seen critique on the song already, which is annoying. But everyone's like, you know, how you have a song and you're talking about you're such an amazing person and then you're saying you're devoting the proceeds of the song to hurricane relief, and I'm just like, because okay, you know, if she wanted to do a We Are the World track, that's what she could do. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's a step in the right direction.
Definitely.
And I think what she's really saying is like she's teaming up with people who are from places that have been hit hard by these storms. You know what I'm saying? Houston, the islands, and then Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? These places have been hit by storms and natural disaster in the past few, you know, months. So it's just like, we have to. I appreciate the unity message that's coming from the. It's not necessarily about the lyrical content. I'm cool with the lyrical content. I think it's cute. Talk your shit, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? There's some fun to be had.
Right. It wasn't all about
donate. You know what I'm saying? It urged me to donate. I'm not gonna donate. You know, for some Sarah McLachlan. You know. Look at the people floating in the water type shit.
She gave us a song that we might want to listen to.
Yeah. And it's just like, and Rihanna's been putting in work. I just appreciate the artists who are, Cardi B's putting in work. I don't know what Nicole is up to. I'm going to have to check. But I appreciate the artists who are putting in work to get things happening. Fat Joe is working.
Cool for her. Did you want to talk about Tamar's album? I know you listened to it. I didn't.
I did listen to Tamar's album.
Fill me in. You know, give me some recommendations.
I'm a fan of Tamar's music. I had to correct that shit real quick.
I'm a fan of Tamar's talent.
Yeah,
I am.
She's a very talented girl. She was on Wendy yesterday. And that girl has gotten so much better with lip syncing. It looks great. It almost looks believable.
Did she lip sync on Wendy?
Yeah, she definitely lip synced on Wendy.
Lip sync? Because she can sing.
She doesn't sing good live. She does not sound good live. And I don't know if it's like her nerves or what it is, but she goes super cross-eyed. And like, you know, she loses her breath and it just looks clunky. It just doesn't look good. So I'd rather see her hold the microphone way over here and still have the same tone, you know, as the background track, and then pull it over here and still sound the same. Than this other shit that she's doing. You know, I appreciate a good pre-recorded vocal.
What did you think about the album though? Like, what is it?
The album.
What is that like?
The album itself is, it's. I think her previous works have been better.
Okay, I'm more interested in...
Sonically, it's a very R&B album. It's very true to R&B.
Well, that's a good direction for her to go.
That's the only direction she needs to go.
Right.
But I liked Calling All Lovers. You know, it had a little bit of, you know, there was an experimentation. She had some island vibes. You know, she had some... But I'm not going to discount Bluebird of Happiness. This album has some really great hits on it.
What is it like vocally? Is it like...
It's similar. I feel like all of her works are essentially similar. She has great vocals, so
she can sing.
Yeah, I don't think that there's ever going to be like a... It's not calm. She has some songs that are very gospel-y R&B, like Blind, which is like a very beautiful... It's like...
That's in her lane, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. She cut her teeth in gospel, so I mean, it's like anytime she does a gospel run or something like that, it just fits. It just works. Like a very Etta James type of song.
Okay.
And then there's another one... Pick Me Up is hot. Pick Me Up is like it's like a dance track kind of, and it's real cute, you know. I love it when she does dance records. I love when she does a little bit of that Tamar essence, you know, of her personality, where she's just saying some stupid shit. Like she did that song where she's like, when you see me with my bag, yeah, her name's Celine. It's like, okay, that's cute. You know what I'm saying? Like the little rap.
Sure.
It was like 1 minute and 54 seconds, the whole track. So I'm like, okay. Cool. You knew when to stop.
You knew when enough was enough.
Yeah. But I don't want to say this album is boring, but it's just not, I don't think it's as sonically dynamic as her past works. I think it's more mature. But I just, and sometimes with Tamar, it's like, wow, this is super similar to Tony because her voice sounds a lot like a higher Tony's.
A lot of similar tone and just like vocal styling and yeah.
But Tamar's experimenting with like her whistle register in this album.
Okay.
Which is
she can go pretty high.
I don't know if that I feel like her whistles are pitched every time, but I mean,
I feel like she can sing pretty high though without going into a falsetto necessarily. As far as like her high, because she's somewhat of a yell singer. I feel like she can yell if she wanted to.
She has a very high. She's definitely the soprano of her family. So yeah, she can utilize her head voice pretty well.
But you listen to whistles, like, Jhene's Trip.
I listened to Jhene's Trip several times. I watched the movie several times.
There's a movie?
There is a movie on YouTube. It's about 30 minutes long.
Okay. I'll have to schedule some time for
so good.
I'll have to pencil in some time.
No, it definitely transported me into my feelings. Like that
I really always imagine different visuals though than she provides, because when I listen to her music I kind of visualize it myself, and then like when I watch her videos it'd be something entirely different than I imagine though. So
like The Worst, I was sort of like, this is a concept.
Did I see that video?
My dad loves that video, which is weird.
I love this song. I love that whole EP.
Yeah, he loves Jhene Aiko. So, which is weird because my dad's really into like funk music, 60s, 70s type.
The common critique of Jhene Aiko, I low key get tired of people saying, I don't like that whisper singing shit. And
that's her though.
That really is. She's not the first artist to sing like that, and I just really feel like for years. I mean, we're not gonna compare Jhene and Jhene,
but no. That's what I'm saying. You know, whisper singing is diverse.
It's right. It's not something that's not a thing. No. You know what I mean? So like, and I honestly think that the girl. I mean, she's not a vocalist, but she can sing. You know what I mean? I've heard her sing
sonically appealing
live. You know what I'm saying? She got some vocal stylings that's like, okay, this girl. She sings. That's what she does.
But it's like, Jhene's album. I was really sort of like, I saw it pop up on Apple Music and I was very hesitant, just because it was so fucking long, and I'm just like, girl.
It is what, like 22, 23?
Yeah, and I'm just
tracks?
like, Miss Thing, what are you doing?
I shuffled it a few times. I'm not gonna act like I listened to it in depth like that. There are a lot of tracks that I like. I like the Is it the Never Call Me?
Yeah.
Record? I love that song.
With who's the feature? It starts with an R.
I'm gonna look at it.
He's the one who does the voicemail at the end.
Her brother?
That's not her brother.
I thought that was her brother that gave her the voicemail.
No.
Why did he say it was your big bro? It's just like,
well, I mean, like, Drake is like her big bro.
Whoever left her that that voicemail, that was some real ass shit, and I was like, you know what? Even though you probably going through some bird emotions right now,
fuck that nigga.
I was like, that's real. Yes, you need people like that in your life.
It's like,
so
you
real.
know, it's like, and that's what I appreciate. And it's difficult. I think it's a very interesting dynamic, because typically I think when girls go through those situations with guys, they're being told this by other girls, where they're like, girl, fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get yourself together. Let's go out. He's like, you know, I got you. I'm holding you down.
Right.
That nigga is stupid if he lets you go.
He's like, you above that.
And he's not coming at her on no like, I low-key want to fuck type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, it's like, it's like, we're here. Like, I have love for you, and I don't have no problem telling you I have love for you, because it's like, I really appreciate men who are capable of doing that. It's not common. It's not common that you find men who are capable of doing that. And I think that was just a really good thing to feature on the album. I loved it. It was great.
Listen, that's a solid piece of
the first 5 songs get you in. It's like Jukai, is that how you pronounce it? Jukai, whatever. Like the third song, I love that song. And then the single that she put out, While We're Young.
I like that song too.
Oh, every time that shit come on my shuffle, I just be like... It's weird
because I don't feel like that album or that song necessarily fits
with the album.
Yes, I didn't envision that type of album from that single, but I really like the artwork. I thought that was cute, you know, it's a little corny, but...
It moves, like, it's like...
It's optical illusion type situation.
But it catches you, and it's very... It's a trip, you know what I'm saying? It's
I like thematic things, so, you know, as far as...
I love a good thematic
tying it all together, she's like... Yes, you know what I'm saying? This is about drugs, but also...
But it's like, it's about, quote-unquote, drugs.
Right.
But it's a coming-to-age thing.
But you know Jhene be doing some drugs.
Well, duh, yeah.
You know, she...
Duh. Oh, she gonna do that anyway.
You know, she done did every drug titled in this album.
Yeah.
I mean, which is fine.
Yeah.
But,
you know, we can't all be SZA, you know.
I really wanted, Jhene to come out with an album that I was going to enjoy because I did like the stuff that she was doing in the mixtape days like that type of R&B that was like contemporary, but it was still tweaked a little bit for her personal style.
Yeah. And that's what I appreciate about these R&B girls. You know what I'm saying? Like even SZA, it's like when SZA came out and she was performing these songs that everybody's like, you know, oh my God, they're so good because she's been performing these songs for years. And they just had different music.
Right.
Like, have you really noticed that? Because I'd be like, girl, you sang this shit like 4 years ago and this shit was completely different.
Yeah.
And it sounds so much better now because it's oriented for top 40. You know what I'm saying? Now it's more oriented for mainstream.
Yeah, and even though I really wouldn't consider SZA to be R&B artist exclusively, but I
don't think it's easy to box her in.
I'm glad that I feel like female R&B is coming back into the forefront of music. Like
you have girls like her.
Yes, I love her.
Yeah.
I love her. I didn't even really like her that much, but like she's definitely grown on me so much because her voice is just amazing.
She's a singer.
And I thought that EP that she put out, what was it? Sold Out?
Yeah.
Or Setting Sail?
Sold Out.
Something to do with like some trade winds. But that EP was cute because I thought it was real good smoking music. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And
yeah, all of her shit is good smoking music.
After she did that feature with Amarion and other homegirl, I feel like I was unsure whether she was gonna come back with an album that was like
Supposed to be?
Yes.
First of all.
Because it was too pop. It was too pop for me.
I loved Supposed to Be.
Wow.
Jhene Aiko has good features. Like when she features on a song,
good featuring artist.
It's a good. I feel like, especially in that song, I feel like it's a dynamic difference between the voices. You have Omarion, who no one has heard since 1994. You have, was it Chris Brown?
I think so.
Who, I mean, next. And then you have Jhene, and then it's like, you know, she just really kind of shifts the
I think that she does do good features. I like a lot of songs with her featured on it, but I feel like the songs that she's featured on, she doesn't really bring any of the elements that I really like about her in her music.
She had another feature that I was really like.
It's just kind of her voice, which is nice to listen to.
It is.
You know, so I'm really glad that this album it was a development from Sold Out. And what was it? Set Sail? The other one that was like the follow-up.
Sail Away, something like that.
LP. Yeah.
Girl, it had something to do with a boat and some winds.
Right.
And something nautical.
Yeah, she definitely did
Sailing
that,
Souls,
in my opinion. I don't think, it's like the best album this year or anything, but I'm satisfied for what I got from her.
Well, I think it's, first of all, it's like, let's not, okay. If we're applying it strictly to Jhene, I think it's great. Something that she can be proud of in her discography. I get scared applying it to other people's shit because it's like, it's difficult, It's R&B, but it's a Jhene Aiko.
She's trying, though. There are not many girls out here that are trying to keep a consistent progression towards
being the best artist that they can be.
Right. And it's just like, okay, you did what you did.
And you're continuing to do the same thing that you've been doing. You're taking it a step further, pushing yourself as an artist. But that's the thing that's people don't understand. That's the thing that has kept Beyonce in the game as long as she has been. It's about reinventing and not being afraid to push your boundaries.
And working.
Yeah.
Going to work.
And y'all bitches,
Clocking
it's like,
in.
Y'all do this love and hip hop shit where I really feel like y'all go to the studio, perhaps maybe get high, maybe fuck a producer or two. And I'm not putting this just on the girls because I think the guys are lazy too.
Of course.
And trap music is like,
but
they don't have to do
the
shit.
difference is they got to learn how to log off and clock in. Okay?
That's true.
When it comes to the music.
Those two things are not the same.
The social media and the cloud around,
That's why I love
being or having a personality on social media. It's worked for a lot of artists, like we just said, Cardi B, but, most of y'all spend too much time on the timeline.
But Cardi B's brand is also goofy. You know what I'm saying?
And
she doesn't take herself too seriously.
Right.
So it's like when she's making music and she's rapping, it's not like she's giving us soulful R&B ballads. Like she can't be a goofball on fucking Instagram and give us like this deep inflective. No, she's like, bitch, eat my pussy from the back like a pork chop dinner and suck my tampon out or shit like that. No, that's Cupcake. Sorry.
But I feel like, even Jhene, in the... there's been little bouts of controversy surrounding, her relationship with her baby father.
Who, Jhene Aiko?
Yeah.
Yeah, they say,
her
they say she
partnership
she
with
cheat.
Sean.
Yeah, she says she's a cheat. a liar, a scammer, and a fraud.
Yeah, she ain't really paid that too much mind.
She's the female Kevin Hart.
She stuck to the work, and I appreciate that about Jhene. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
her and Alicia Keys.
Congrats to her on her album.
Who else? Demi Lovato came out with an album last night. Did you listen?
Of course not. What? Okay. I'm gonna let y'all Demi Lovato fans live because
I've been listening to Demi since I was in middle school, so I can't.
That girl tries so hard. I just don't.
Listen, but I think this is her best attempt, and I'm gonna say that. I think this album is her best attempt. Demi's always had the vocal possibility. It's not that she can't sing. No, she's always trying to sing beyond her means. And that's the thing. I think that's another situation where entitlement kind of comes in. And she feels like I've been doing this for so long. Like when her last album came out, she was like, "Fuck, next time I really want to get a Grammy." You know what I'm saying? And then she came out with Confident, and it was just like,
that's not how that works. Though you're not even close to. I mean,
that's why this album it's progressive. It's experimental with sound. It's different for her. And at first I was just like, wow, she's coming out with an album real close to her last album. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I would take like maybe a couple years and just like really refine my sound. It's just like Taylor. I think her album is too rushed. I don't give a fuck. I won't be purchasing it or listening to it. But it's just like, I don't see a development of sound when Beyonce takes her time away, you know, when she puts out an album and she tours and she's done with her tour, I'm like, now go. You know, go, and I'll see you in the next 5 years. I know you're coming back, and I know when you come back, I'll be satisfied. You'll come back like a thief in the night.
Right, because you work.
With a new body, with whatever.
I'm not even going to hold you up. I really am. I don't listen to too many white female pop artists, but, you know, I'll give it the fact that I've heard a few people say that the album is good. I'm not gonna give it a listen.
No, you don't have to. You know, I'm not trying to convert anyone.
I'll take everybody's word for it.
I have a very holistic sense of the way that I digest music, so I feel like good music is just good music. I'm not too preoccupied with genres, I guess, because I think at this point in time everything is starting to blend together any fucking way. Especially when we're talking about top 40 music.
And I feel like that's what she wants, and that's where she's headed. And I'm not even there, so I ain't gonna meet you there, girl. You know what I'm saying? I hope you get to where
she doesn't have any. Let me give you this. She doesn't have any number ones on the album. I didn't listen to anything and go, "This is the one." You know, that's gonna propel her to the level that she wants to be at. That's not gonna happen. But the album, you know, as far as award category goes, you know, if I don't think anyone else is really putting out a pop album, like girls like Dua Lipa that no one is really paying attention to. I think Demi Lovato's pop album has been probably the best of the year so far. But that's my humble analysis. Like I said,
we'll take it.
I'm a consumer of music.
We'll tolerate it. It's fine. I'm not gonna argue with you about it. I
like pop music. I've always liked pop music.
Somebody has to.
Yeah. There's a new girl out that I've been listening to. Kim Petras. I think Kim Petras.
I don't think I've heard of her.
She actually, I looked her up, and she is a big star, I guess, in like Germany, I think. And she's famous for having like transitioned at like 15 or 16. And I was like, girl, okay, you know, it seems like, and I hate saying this, but it seems like every time somebody has this like moment, like I see this with drag queens all the time, they get a little bit of shine and they put a single out and the single sucks. So I'm just like, girl, this song is gonna suck. This song is so good. It's like pop genius. It's like, but it's written by Dr. Luke, so of course it's pop genius. Well, it's written as ass.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I was like, girl, this song is a bop. I can't even. Who else came out with some new music, Kylie?
I honestly, let me look at my recently. I've just been listening to the Daddy Lessons featuring the Dixie Chicks. That's a great version of that song. I'm sorry, but Beyonce's vocals on that version far exceed.
Where Dixie Chicks stands.
Sure.
I stand the Dixie Chicks. I stand them because they said fuck George Bush when they was at the peak of their career to a group of people who love George Bush. I said, no, that's a bitch I can fuck with. I can fuck with them.
I think...
And I fuck with Beyonce even harder for being that petty to bring them along to the CMAs, knowing that then white people would be furious.
Virgo is arguably the pettiest sign, but...
Yeah, Virgo is super petty.
Definitely.
Super petty.
I think that wraps up the episode for this month, week, just this time. I mean,
this time, we're around.
We'll be back soon. Ask. Yes, definitely. I wanted to mention to those of y'all listening, even though Apple has entirely pissed me off, is to almost every extent, at every angle, they pissed me off with this update. But I will give them their props on the new music update as far as kind of adding like a social media type of aspect to it, allowing, certain people to follow other people. I really would hope that y'all follow me on Apple Music. It's at Kayachak, KHAIACHAK. Yes. Share music with me. I'll follow y'all back. I just really like to have like somewhat of a social network surrounding music and not really just trash political bullshit. Yeah. So yeah, follow me on that. Follow me on Twitter at same name, Instagram, website. You can check out the podcast on my website too, if you just want to go on there and check that out. Okay, we will see y'all next time.
Hopefully.
Bye.
Bye.